No, no. And we're back, yo people of YouTube. Welcome to my channel. I'm Mishe Jindu or Zinyati. And I think it's pretty obvious that when you get into something new or you just become enamored in some new world, whether you're doing art, whether you're doing real estate like I am, you start to look at different things in your field in a random, completely focused manner that a normal person wouldn't even consider. One such thing that I experienced fairly recently was while I was sleeping, and then I just started thinking about, what, the Three Little Pigs kind of makes sense. That whole fairy tale aspect of the story where they're three super genius, high-level alien pigs against one wolf with a super diaphragm capable of destroying entire buildings with just his diaphragm capabilities. And in that whole story, we pretty much came to the conclusion that if you want to build a property and you want it to be safe from super animals, you gotta build it out of brick. Straw makes no sense. Wood makes no sense. Brick is the superior building material, facts, according to that fairy tale. But when you think about it, it's kinda logical. Obviously, bricks are the superior things to build with. And then it got me thinking, all those millions of homes out there that are completely built out of wood, what are people thinking, especially in the Americas, because that's where it's usually happening? Did they not get the memo? Did they not know the fairy tale? Are they just going to completely ignore these super powerful diaphragm wolves out there that are going to eat their kids and the pigs that are super intelligent, whatever? But anyway, that was one of the thoughts I had in my head, and we're going to be discussing it today. What is the superior material to build with? Brick, as we all know, as the fairy tale said, or wood? Let's discuss it. If you're someone who doesn't stay in the Americas or in some European countries, your government probably got the memo and most of you understood the story of the Three Little Pigs and figured out, what, bricks are the way to go. But then if you also had access to American TV like I did, you must have been completely shooketh when you realized pretty much almost all the houses in America are made out of wood. And it really didn't make much logical sense, but it explained a lot of things. Like, for one thing, fire departments. Sure, a brick home can catch on fire, but I always wondered, why is the American fire department just seem so leveled up compared to all other fire departments out there? And when you figure out their houses are made of wood, it kind of makes sense. These things are just one misplaced matchstick away from an entire disaster. Also, punching holes through the wall, I don't know if you understand it. If you have a brick wall, you don't do that sort of stuff. And having animals living under your house doesn't make sense unless your home is made out of wood. And probably the most egregious one, I don't know if you guys remember that show where they'd send people off on holiday for like 2 weeks and then they'd completely redesign and rebuild an entire home in that time frame. And I was just like, how are they doing this? What's going on? But when all your pieces are made out of wood and you just need to lift it up, patch it up, hammer and nails, it makes logical sense as to how come these guys could build entire mansions, super houses with slides going down everywhere and elevators and all that without much hassle. Wood. But is all that convenience of being able to put up a house in 2 weeks or so really that worthwhile when you consider all the negatives, like your house could literally just burst into flames with a magnifying glass, or if a termite infestation just so happened to attack your home, it could pretty much destroy everything? I don't think so. But I also don't think the Americas are as silly as most people make them out to be, and I was confident that they had a justified, logical reason as to why almost 90% plus of their homes are completely dedicated to being built out of wood. And it just so happens I was right. It's logical, it's common sense, it's often frowned upon, it's capitalism, and ultimately the decision on what material to use in order to build a house comes down to just answering 3 basic questions. Number 1, what is a house? What does a house have to do? Number 2, what materials can we use to build that house in the first place? And number 3, probably the most important question to answer, what is the cheapest material to get the job done? Capitalism at work right there. So to answer the questions, number 1, what is a home? What does a home have to do? comfort and security pretty much just answers the day. It's got to keep you safe from Mother Nature. It's got to keep you safe from other people. Got to keep your privacy in check. Got to at least offer some marginal comfort. And as you get richer up the social ladder, you probably want a lot of comfort. But you can boil down what a home does to just offering you comfort and security. Question number 2 really doesn't narrow down anything, because pretty much if you can afford it, you can really make a home out of everything if you've got the finances. Want to make a home out of brick, wood? Do it. A house made of glass? If you wanted to, why not? An entire home made out of diamonds, gold, an entire marble palace? Dude, all you really need to do is be able to fund it, and you can do it. But everything is kind of boiled down and narrowed down when you bring common sense into the equation, and you've got to think about what can the general average populace do in terms of focusing on building it, repairing it, maintaining it, and replacing it. And when you put that into the equation, you really have to go with the most convenient material that you have on hand. And in most countries, you have deposits that let you build bricks. Simple as that, so you use bricks. In the Americas, where you kind of just had this huge, expansive mass of trees just outside your doorstep, guess what? If you're building a house, you're building it with trees. And honestly, that's it. That's really what it usually all just boils down to: availability and convenience. Is it close? Can we make it into a home? We're making it into a home. Full stop. And yes, I know for all us brick purists out there, we might be sitting at our stone castles up in the skies, looking down on these wooden serfs, saying, look at our sturdy brick home. Nothing can break through it. It's a safety issue. Your homes can just poof, burst into flames, wash away with the rains, blow away with tornadoes, tsunamis. Mother Nature really just abuses wooden homes. But unfortunately, to play the devil's advocate and as well the truth teller in this scenario, brick homes don't fare much better when it comes to surviving the wrath of Mother Nature. Whether it's an earthquake, a tsunami, a flood, but what about the tornadoes? Listen, in the case of a tornado, if something is flinging around a car at 100 miles per hour straight into your building, your brick home isn't going to survive that. It's just late. So when Mother Nature comes a-calling, it really comes down to understanding, okay, our things are going to get destroyed, annihilated, pulverized, cast into the wind. How are we going to replace it? And if you're in an area that primarily has trees on offer and it's the cheapest way to do it, you're building with trees. If you're in an area like most African countries where you have deposits of all you'd need to make bricks, you're building it with bricks. End of story. That's it. There isn't really a concrete way to say that this material is better than this material, unless the aforementioned super lupine comes and attacks and uses its mega diaphragm to start blowing gusts of wind that just destroy every other type of house there, except as brick houses. Then we really have the advantage in that regard. And also termites. Yeah, I don't think I'm confident enough to live in a home where I know just some little majuru things can just come and destroy your entire house. But hey, if that's where you are and that's what you deal with, tell me how you handle it, because that's not for me. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, notification bell, all that. Really appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.